What is going on YouTube? Dr. Wade here, hitting you up with another video. And the reason why this conversation got sparked um, surrounding MGE, I hate the event. I wish there was another way that you could get sculptures in the same way you could from MGE, but there's a few problems with the Mightiest Governor that kind of is backwards in the grand scheme of things, right? So, some kingdoms regulate it, some don't. Ours is attempting to do that. I think I favored it. It was that. Okay, that's about the room buff. So, right, they claim that they want to, strengthen. Um, Not even they didn't even. I like how the king didn't even say, strengthen the kingdom. Just our future T5 garrison leaders. you know, I get that having a few marches of T5 definitely go a long way when you can throw them into the flag. But I mean, in solo defending is definitely a thing. But in KVK1, can a whale really, depending on how much, I mean, do they really want to keep up with all? I don't know. Maybe if they were super focused on infantry, maybe. But you want to utilize your team as much as you can. I wouldn't. Solo filling probably isn't a won't be like a real thing in KVK1 just because I mean like you haven't had that much time. And do you really want to lose all your troops in that way? You're still even for a while you're still in some type of development stage. Some depending on how much money you spend. Some people will spend enough and it don't matter. So that's debatable. Okay, they're saying that there's a point limitation of 70 mil. I don't know if that means for just the kill event or total. Don't know. You can only do duels, so that's good for farming, I guess. 1,000 points for every point above. Okay, whatever. It could be zeroed if you don't pay up. No, there's exceptions like August and this Pooty Slayer. Okay, whatever. They don't apply to them because they're the whales. They can spin or train how they want to train. Okay, so I'm gonna go over MGE in general and then talk about the problems with it when it's not fixed, and then I want to talk about the problems with how they're doing it. Right? It's not really what they're doing; it's what they're not fucking doing, in my opinion. Right? So the biggest problem with MGE really is the part. This is the first piece to it. Is the imbalance in how the points are allocated. So you can get most of your points, right? The majority of your points can come from training if you want them to be, right? That's day one. Day two, barbs, you can get, you can get quite a bit of points, but it's going to take a lot of action points, and I feel like you should be using your action points in other ways, right? For events that reward you a little bit more than this one does. But I mean, it is possible to get millions of points depending on how much you play and how long you're going to be online and how much AP you got, whether you want to chain barb or not. Boom. So day two is questionable. Day three don't mean shit. You can honestly not gather at all, and you would still be in pretty much the same position you was in before, because you don't get more than like 1,000,000 points, right? So you're looking at the scoreboard. Anybody that gets 1,000,000 points, I mean, it might make the difference between 3 and 4 right now, but after the kill event or day 4, when you can train troops, which I don't recommend. The better thing is to do research or buildings. I would probably prioritize the research on day 4, depending on what development stage you're in. And then day 6, day 5 is the kill event, and it's just so imbalanced. Like, why would I just got done training up troops. That benefits me on day 1, right? It's nothing but upside to training troops. But now I have to kill enemy troops, to get my troops killed or severely injured, and pay a whole bunch of resources, and that actually doesn't even help me, right? Kill event does nothing but hurt you, but it's the second best way to get points, and quite frankly, it sometimes you can get more points killing people's troops, especially let's say it's KVK and you're fighting heavy versus training troops. I get the concept, but and I think I wouldn't change that. Like, yeah, if you're gonna sacrifice your troops, you should be rewarded. But why are the other days messed up? Right, and then 6 is like everything, but just less of it, right? Anything goes. You can do any of the other activities, but you get less of it. Excuse my phone. And see, here's the thing, like, because the like free to play can only do so much training because there's training speed ups are very limited, right? So, and I don't recommend you do this activity, but let's say like a medium guy like me, like I can't do 20 million points worth of training, right? That's like four, close to no, that's close to 2 and maybe 2.2 or so. Two more like 2.1 full marches, 200K marches. That's like a little bit over 400,000 troops trained at T4. Now I'm pretty sure he did T5, so the calculus arithmetic is probably going to be different, right? He's probably training T5. August is, and that gives those players a big advantage because of the speed up to T5 ratio. It's just the resources that fuck you up in the end, right? That's going to be the limiting factors for T5 is how many resources do you actually have. So naturally, this event is geared towards the medium and quite frankly the whaley whales, the wally, the whales, Moby Dicks is what I call them. Right? August, he's a Moby Dick. Simple as that. Whale. Okay? And there's not the other days that are free to play, like the barbs. Anybody can do that. It doesn't really mean that much. The gathering doesn't really mean that much. Right? The kill event, they can do that, but it's just you're hurting the kingdom and everybody. Like nobody benefits from there being a kill event. It's just a problem child. It's the real issue with the Mightiest governor. Like, it would probably be better if you just take it out. Quite frankly, because it doesn't do anything but hurt people. But if you have to have it, amen. This is what I would say. That's the biggest thing with the kill event. You really can't farm because people are just going to hit your gatherers, right? Assuming that it's not fixed, right? If you do go around attacking people, it's going to be a huge hospital bill, right? Depending on how many points you want. And here's the glaring problem. It's the only way that somebody that spends less money, the people that spend less money, it's their only real way to try to combat the fact they have to hurt themselves to combat the fact that they're not spending money in the game just for the sculptures. I think that's backwards. Now, a kingdom can make rules surrounding Mightiest governor, and I really do think that if done right, it can make Mightiest governor a benefit to the kingdom and an enhancement instead of this bullshit thing we got to do every 2 weeks and we can't farm for 2 days. And like just that alone is just, I'm talking about hundreds of millions of resources lost that could have been gained that weren't gained, right? Hundreds of millions, hundreds of millions, you don't understand, lost. Never, shit, I gain like 15, 20 million resources a day and I'm just one fucking person. And I'm doing 1/5 of a meal, of 100 meals, shit, billions if you got enough folks that's farming right. Amen. And that's the problem, right? It's hurting you. What can they do? What can leadership do? I think the easiest thing to do, right? And I'm coming at this from this angle with the Mightiest governor, right? I feel like Mightiest Governor is really a tool that should be utilized to get your best of the best players a boost in the commanders that they need for KVK. So Charles Martel, for example, right? He's going to be the premier flag defender. You know, Charles Martel with E Song, or Charles with Richard, or shit, Charles with Sun Tzu would probably be fair in KVK1, given the circumstances of you don't really have that much time to prepare early game, right? But Charles Martel is the face of flag defense at KVK1, right? The Whales have to have him expertise, but the thing is, he's a gold key commander, especially. So you really don't want anybody, for that matter. It's a whale less so, but anyone really doesn't want to put universals into Martel because you can get it from gold keys, and you're still going to have to put some into him, most likely to have him expertise if you want to really give your team the best advantage, and that's the selfless play that I think a lot of whales might not be willing to do, but we'll see if I see some expertise. August, I'm calling you out. If you care about us the way that I say you do, win these MGEs. Don't be selfish and try to get rank 1 every time. Let some of the other whales, get a little something. But I like to see them put a few universals in there, get them expertise. Hopefully it's not more than like 300, and then I'll be like, okay, that don't have them expertise. Like, I wouldn't do more than that, right? That last 4 skill ups is probably what I would recommend, but that's neither here nor there. Getting back to what I'm saying is that this is just a boost, so you don't have to put as many universals. The whales don't have to put as many universals into them, right? Fine. And then, like, sometimes the expertise isn't even the most important part. It's really the tech that's gonna make or break it, like 100%. If you got that maxed out tech, that's gonna matter a fuck ton more than you having the last 5 skill ups and the expertise. 100% on Martel specifically. For other commanders, I'm gonna shut my mouth because I won't. But definitely, like, if you got max tech, or if there's somebody that maybe only has 1 T5 unlocked. Well, yeah, 1 T5, like no T5 unlocked, and it's like, still a little bit away from it. Like, I would probably just take the dude that let's say the other dude had Martel max, but not max tech. I'd rather take the Martel that's 5.5, like 2.3 or some shit, and then take the max tech. I would honestly think that would be better. So it's just a boost. And that's the thing, like, the top people need to delegate how we gonna do this. So here's an interesting thought. We should figure out, everybody should have a sit down, like a real fucking business meeting, and just say, like, okay, this is what I have. This is what I plan on doing with my account. So maybe somebody's geared towards flag defense, right? So he should be in the top 1, 2, 3, or 4, or 5 spot, right? And then so have like 5 flag defenders, right? And like 5 rally leaders, right? I think that's a pretty good number, especially if it covers different time zones, right? So let's say, right, and maybe you got some people that's hybrid or whatever. Try to make it balanced. So like right now, right, it's 4 MGEs. So organize it. So like the cream of the crop, best people in the kingdom, one of them gets number 1, one of them gets number 2 for sure, at least once, right? And then, depending on how many you got, just try to make it even. So after fix it, so this person gets first, second, third, fourth, and fifth, and then fix it in a way where once it's all said and done, everybody's somewhere close to getting around like 350, 380. So let's say there was 4 people, for example, and each person got first, second, third, and fourth on at least one of the 4 cycles. So one person, for example, each one of these, this would happen. Each person would get first, second, third, or fourth. The whales, right? You would end up having almost enough for a 5-5, 5-1, right? just the last 4 skill ups you would have to do with universals or gold keys on your own. And I think that's a really good spot to be in for a whale, because that allows you to um, get a lot more stuff online, and then it's some diversity. Because the thing is the whale not going to be online. You know what I'm saying? All the time. So if this dude that's just wallet warrior his way, it's like 2 dudes that's wallet warrior war. I can't talk. Warrioring their way. Amen. Man, that was tough. They're just using a wallet, paying to win, and they take all the sculptures. Well, okay, fine. You barely used any universals. You got yours maxed. But then it's all these other guys that have to put in so much more work that. Oop, let me turn off my phone here. I'm just gonna go on silent. They got to put in all this work, right? And they might not do it because they got other projects, right, that they're working on. So that it just knocks them out, and then there's going to be a moment where that person's not online. The flag needs to be defended, and then we're going to have to give up the territory or take potentially an unfavorable trade to hold on, or probably just lose the territory, right? Because nobody feels comfortable sending their troops into a half-ass flag to die. That's the problem, right? So I think they should do it like that. And then, after fifth place, I mean, 30 sculptures is nice. 20, right? I think because it's so low, for number 6 through 10, 6 through 10 should be reserved to reward players that are active, that are that may or may not be kind of like that next line of defense specifically. So let me give you a better example, because Charles Martel isn't. When new commanders come out like the Saladin or Constantine, right? You can always get them from Card King if you can't win Mightiest Governor to get 10, at least to unlock. But here's the thing though, right? I have to wait like 90 days after the fact to get him from Card King. That's a long time. And if I needed him for that next fight, or to use him at least in the open field or something to that nature, then I don't have him. This is applicable to me. For example, I'll really hope by the time Constantine comes out, we can work out a deal where I ain't gotta blow all of my speed ups just to get 10 fucking sculptures, right? I've been not so much to this kingdom because we just got here, but I've been an asset to my alliance, a major player, and ultimately I'm going to be a big asset to the kingdom, right? I feel like some people that are like that in a way I get that I'm not a whale, but the guys that are right under the whale, the medium spenders, the ones that are active, are going to make up the bulk of the contribution when it comes to sending my troops to fucking die. Because we're the ones that can actually afford to do some type of retraining or healing. It ain't gonna be some of the other guys, right? It's just true. So it's like I'm here busting my ass, and it's just the top dude. I get the top dudes, get the top spots, but I feel like the 6 through 10 should be reserved for guys to incentivize them to work hard. I get that I'm not the rally leader, but I could potentially lead a counter rally. Amen. So, for example, Saladin is a great counter rally. So maybe it might be worth you giving me, I don't know what's the magic number, a couple sculptures for Saladin. I can get that, not too many, right? Because it's got to go to the whales, but something where I get them, get them maybe the first skill maxed. Amen. 60 sculptures. So that means I get 6 through 10, 3 times, or maybe they give me 30 or 40 sculptures, whatever the number is. I get them 5-5, 5-5-5-1, right? With my universals or some bullshit like that. I could lead a solid ass counter rally, right? That seems worth it to me. And if everybody else is deployed somewhere else and it's a weird time, like that's pretty valid. and maybe not me because I'm number 16 or so in the kingdom, and there are people that are higher. But power ain't everything. I want to see their tech. That's what matters. The fucking tech. If you're heavy in building, then that's why I say I'm probably not me because I'm heavy in building. But if you're heavy in the building and not so much in the tech, then you're not very an effective fighter. So it's a lot that go into it. What should they do with the kill event? Point blank, period. Nobody should be able to get over 1 million points in the kill event, period. That makes it super simple. They can't just take out the kill event, right? And then make it so there not only will there be a point cap on kill event, then make it so there's a point cap. Make it so there's a point cap on how many points total, but make it very reasonable. So like 70, nobody's reaching 70 mil. Get the fuck out of here. Like, I would say nobody goes above, let's see, what would be hard to do? So if you were to train up, a full army of troops, that's 8 million. So let's say the cap is like 10 million. Oh no, you could be like, the cap is like, because right now, it's still an early kingdom and stuff like that. For example, let's say the cap was like 8 million, for example. I think 10 million is fine for most people, for the people that need to be above that. So the cap can be 10 million, for example, right? Nobody can go above that for anybody that's under the top 10. And then top, number 10 gets 10.5. Then number 9 gets, 11. And then, just go up every 500,000 points. And the only way I can see somebody fucking that up in the early game is if they're speeding up some buildings, or a building ends on the day and it's like a super big building or some bullshit or another like that, right? Then it may be a slight problem, right? You could maybe get to 50, 500,000 points that way if you ain't careful, right? But in a general sense, just schedule it. So like the top person is 15 million and 14.5 million. 14 million, 13.5, 13, and just go down like that. And then like what you can honestly do is just like, the main thing you want people to be doing is just fucking training. But you honestly don't want them to do too much training, because you want them to say their speed ups ultimately to do the Eve of the Crusade. So if you limit their points in that way, the top dudes still get what they want. They can do less training now and do way more training for Eve of the Crusade to get the kingdom a better spot, right? Because they're saving their speed ups. They're not blowing all of their speed ups, ensuring that they get first place. Guys that are medium spenders don't have to feel like we're blowing everything every time. And like we don't want stuff every time. We most of the time just want few sculptures so we can unlock the fucking commander. That's like the main thing for people like me is, can I just fucking unlock him so I don't have to wait 90 days for fucking Card King? That's like the main thing. And I think that that's fair. And everybody that is like a medium type of person, right, there's enough spots, for something like that to happen. So it's just about people delegating and being honest, and should be about cooperation, not competition. So that's what I think they should do. Kill event, just limit it to 1 million points. Boom. So that would mean if I need 6 million points, let's say that's my benchmark, I do 5 million of training, which is I could pretty comfortably do, right, every once in a while as a medium spender. Easy. Like, I probably won't want to do that every time, at least in the early game, because I need my speed ups in other ways. But in the late game, whatever. We could increase 10 million. It wouldn't be no problem in the late game. And then, for the kill event, just make it cap it at 1 million. That makes sense to me, because, man, and then I'm gonna gotta do this reset. I'm gonna do this Richard. I can't speak today. Richard wheel. Last one. I'm gonna go crazy for y'all in the wheel today too. It's just like, damn. Like, I wish they would just do the kill event right. Because right now, it's like, okay, with number 3, 4, 5, all that other bullshit is in the air. Well, it's going to be more than just August and Tommy. Like, there's going to be other guys, too, right, that are going to have to do some defense. Not just them. So, there you go. That's how I feel. It should be more than just, like, 2, 3 guys. It's going to be 5, 6, you know. You don't want too many cooks in the kitchen, but sure, you still need a team. So that's what I think about MGE. You know, regulate it, make it so the kill event, you can only get a couple of points any fucking way, so people can't go over. And then just make it so they can't kill farmers. Like, you can still do the duels only. There's nothing wrong with that. But still, just limit the points to 1,000,000 so people aren't dueling all fucking day. Like, wait, like it's way more important shit that I feel like you should be doing with your resources than healing troops because you want to duel all day. Like, fuck that. That's what I think. Definitely a rant video. It's how I feel, amen. And I hope that I'm gonna bring it up to somebody, and I hope they change it. See you in the next video. Tell me what you think in the comment section, man, because this shit is something else. Tell me what you think. See you in the next video.